So, we are talking about your potential, unlocking your potential with mindfulness and meditation. We're going to kind of explore how these practices can help you dig into that potential and lead a more fulfilling life. So, before we get started, like many of you, I used to feel so overwhelmed by the demands of life. I was constantly chasing after this success, looking for the next thing, always trying to achieve something. And I really felt like unfulfilled deep down. I really felt frustrated and like, isn't there more? Like, I was always chasing something else. And not to say that when we're looking at our potential and when we're trying to grow a little bit, that we can't be looking for um, what's next. But I was constantly in that chase and never feeling like it was enough. So I want to discuss with you how things changed when I started meditating, when I started being more mindful, and how these practices transformed my life. And so I just want to share this with you. So I'm going to look at three areas: self awareness and understanding, focus and clarity, and building emotional resistance. So each of these areas play a role in helping you tap into your potential and live a more meaningful and empowered life. That's what a lot of us are looking for, is not letting life control us, but having the power to decide how we react, to decide what is important, to decide how we navigate things, right? So, first up, let's talk about mindfulness and meditation in deepening this self awareness and understanding. So, by dedicating time to meditation, you can learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. And that's the trick. We observe our thoughts and our emotions all the time. But the problem is we attach judgment to them. We attach things to them. We make those thoughts and those emotions us instead of just part of what's happening to us. So gaining insight into the different patterns that might be holding us back. So when we get into a thought spiral of, I'm not good enough, do we let that consume us and take control? Or do we know, I'm having this thought and it's not true? I'm having this thought that I'm not good enough, and I know that is inaccurate because I have done X, Y, Z, fill in the blank to show that you are good enough. So recognizing our thoughts and emotions, letting them be, not putting judgment on them, but being able to flip those things in our head when we know they're holding us back. Next, mindfulness and meditation can enhance our focus and clarity. So in today's world, we are bombarded by things all the time. We have so much coming at us, whether it is social media, the news, just in general, work, family, obligations, trying to make time for our well-being, our hobbies, our leisure, right? But there's all this stuff coming at our brain all day long. And so it's really easy to become overwhelmed by that. It's easy to become distracted by that. And all of that noise makes us lose sight of our goals, makes us lose sight of what's within us, because it becomes this weight on our shoulders that we try to process, we try to analyze, we try to, make decisions, and it just becomes really, really hard. So using meditation and mindfulness, you can quiet that noise that's always going on and really gain the mental clarity needed to continue with purpose, to continue with that determination of reaching your goals. And then lastly, how mindfulness and meditation can help us build emotional resistance. So life is filled with ups and downs. I always say, if I had a magic wand and I could just boop, remove everyone's stress, I would. But that is not possible. And some stress is good. But most of us live in a place of chronic stress where, again, all of that stuff that's coming at us, we're not dealing with it, we're not navigating it. And so it becomes this huge weight, and we end up being stressed all the time. So these ups and downs with life that are going to happen, meditation and mindfulness, again, helps us learn to navigate through that, giving ourselves grace. Like, this life is hard sometimes. And so allowing ourselves to have that space to process and to navigate things is huge. By cultivating a sense of presence and acceptance, we can be better equipped to handle what life throws at us. We can be better equipped to work through what life throws at us instead of letting it hold us back, instead of letting it stop us in our tracks. Because really, that's what happens to a lot of us, is we have so much on our shoulders that we're just like, I don't even know what to do, and we do nothing. So I hope that you find this valuable, and that you feel inspired to incorporate mindfulness and meditation into your daily life. The journey of meditation and mindfulness is really one of self-discovery. And it's not always easy, and it's not always fun. But what comes out of it is truly transformational. We do become more empowered. Again, going back to that word, it's like, what does that even mean? And so many of us let life take control over everything. We are not in the driver's seat. And so when we find that feeling of empowerment, we are more in control, not of what happens in life necessarily, but of how we respond to it. And that is where the key to handling all this stuff is. How do we respond? Okay. So if you are, if you're ready to take that step, I encourage you to find support, to find encouragement, to continue coming to this space to grow and to learn and to thrive. I want to just leave you with this. The impact of mindfulness and meditation on our personal growth and fulfillment is like it's so hard to put into words. This self-awareness, increasing that focus and that clarity that I mentioned, having more emotional resilience, and really just giving us that ability to navigate life it's a tool that everyone should have. And so with that, I want to thank you for joining me, to remind you to tune in again, and just remember to breathe, to stay present, and to embrace the journey.